This video presentation is used as fair use as a disclaimer for educational purpose only. All instrumental music is used as fair use for educational purpose only as a disclaimer.
Deputies involved with this incident were placed on administrative leave pending final investigative findings. Due to recent developments, including findings during our internal investigation, those deputies that were still employed by this department have all been terminated.
Rankin County Sheriff Brian Bailey reading off a prepared statement regarding the deputies involved in the January incident where Michael Corey Jenkins and Eddie Parker say they were tortured, tased, and beaten. However, the sheriff didn't offer much else after that.
We cannot, however, confirm or deny any specific facts related to this incident because of active and ongoing investigations.
Malik Shabazz, who's the attorney representing the two men, responding to these latest developments, saying, quote, Sheriff Brian Bailey has finally acted after supporting much of the bloodshed that has occurred under his reign in Rankin County. The next credible and honorable step for Brian Bailey is to resign or to be ousted, end quote. Everything dating back to January 24th. That's when deputies were called out to 135 Connerly Road in Braxton after reports of narcotic activity. While responding, Shabazz says the deputies tased, punched, and sexually abused the two men for 90 minutes, and one deputy shot Jenkins in the face. Body cameras were not activated during this entire incident. In February, the Department of Justice opened an investigation into possible civil rights violations by the Rankin County Sheriff's Department. On June 12th, a civil rights lawsuit was filed against the deputies involved at the Sheriff's Department, seeking $400 million in compensatory and punitive damages. Then, more than a week later, on June 23rd, deputies involved in the incident were fired from the department. While Shabazz is happy to hear that the deputies have been fired, he says he still thinks they should face a stiffer punishment, saying, quote, however, criminal indictments of the deputies from the Attorney General of the state of Mississippi and criminal indictments by the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice is the next step in this tough fight for justice in this nasty ordeal, end quote.
Black power, people. Do anybody remember this particular situation, this incident that happened back in January? Well, I made a video back in January about this particular incident where our brother, Michael Corey Jenkins, 32 years old, and our brother Eddie Terrell Parker, who was 35, from Jackson, Mississippi, January 24th. If you remember this incident, I don't think it hit the mainstream media. And the reason why mainstream media kept this story, this particular horrific story, to muffle. You didn't hear about this particular situation. I did not see it on world news. Can somebody tell me the Michael Corey Jenkins and the Eddie Terrell Parker situation, was it on the news? Because it merit to be up on the news, and it wasn't broadcast at all. Someone sent me the story by email. When I opened up my email and looked at the particular information, I just knew that this information would be on NBC, ABC, one of these mainstream media outlets, but I did not see it. To no avail, I did not see any reports on this particular situation, and I know why. Y'all remember our brother Tyree Nicholas was beaten to death by 5 black officers in Memphis, Tennessee. Did you see how swift to justice things happen when the black cops went out of their way in jurisdiction. What I mean by jurisdiction, they had no jurisdiction at all to approach this brother. One of the cops wanted to get even with Tyre Nicholas over a woman. It has nothing to do with anything else but a woman. This happened 17 days after Tyre Nicholas was murdered. But these 5 deputies went into an apartment building illegal search. They went into an apartment building where Michael Corey Jenkins and Eddie Terrell Parker occupied this apartment. Police for 90 minutes, the deputies for 90 minutes, 5 white racist motherfuckers went inside of this house, y'all, or this apartment complex, and tortured these brothers. Waterboard technique, looking for drugs that's not in that apartment. Someone called because in the community somebody was selling drugs. So the police violated by going into their apartment building without a search warrant. Then they violated their human rights and civil rights, calling them the N-word, nigger, putting a gun in their mouth, and the worst thing of all, they had a sex toy and sodomized one of these brothers. Sodomized one of these brothers, and it didn't hit the news. Soon as the black police in Memphis, Tennessee killed Tyre Nicholas, they threw them black cops up under the bus real quick. Sodomized the brother. So let's fast forward. This happened in January. This June, they terminated these race soldiers. They should have been fired. Rankin County Police Department in Jackson, Mississippi. Mississippi just a bad location for black people. So many black people that lost their lives in Mississippi. But anyway, we can talk about Medgar Evers and, Money, Mississippi, Emmett Till. You know what I mean? We can talk a lot of stuff that happened down in Mississippi that's real racist. That's a racist environment down there. But Rankin County Sheriff Ryan Bailey, head of the sheriff department down there, made an announcement that these particular race soldiers have been terminated from their department. But the attorney for Michael Corey Jenkins and Eddie Terrell Parker says that he wants the sheriff to step down because the sheriff, only reason why he's now terminating these particular race soldiers because he is being put on the department. But this particular sheriff, a lot of carnage, a lot of horrific crimes have been committed towards black people up under this dude's reign. He should step down too. To save face, he want to get rid of these 3 race soldiers or 5 race soldiers. He need to follow suit. I agree with Malik. But this police violence against black people in America is allowed by your government that you vote for. Your government. What about the sister? I'm gonna show y'all this video of this race soldier slamming our sister, another police. We're gonna go to Lancaster, California. Lancaster, California. June 24th. June 24th. Check this out.
Oh no! It's this part of a 5-minute long video and what happens next when the woman is sprayed in the eyes. That so outraged Lisa Michelle Garrett that she posted what she witnessed on Facebook.
I was just so flabbergasted that he knocked her down like he did, like she was some big old threatening man with a gun.
Garrett says she used to work in security. That's why when she saw 7 loss prevention officers escorting the couple out of the Winco in Lancaster on June 24th, she started rolling. She says she heard the man screaming he hadn't stolen anything. Then deputies showed up. They handcuffed the man, and the woman he's with starts recording. You can hear her screaming about rights. Then the deputy walks over to her.
Oh no!
Garrett says what you don't see is that the handcuffed man is screaming that she has cancer and that the deputy had his fist up.
Stop. Get off of her! Don't you sock her! Don't you sock a lady! He kept saying, I can't breathe. You know, you have your knee on my neck. You know, I can't breathe. So then she was, you know, moving around trying to get away from him, and he got his mace out and sprayed her eyes.
It's not clear from the angle if the deputy's knee was on her neck or back. And use of force expert Karen Laser says the video doesn't show what happened before or what deputies were told about the couple.
There's always 2 sides to the story, and sometimes 3 and 4. And this video doesn't show everything, so it would be difficult to or not advised to jump to an opinion.
But Garrett believes there was no justification for what she saw.
I would like some justice to happen for that.
I'm tired of seeing incidents like this, my brothers and sisters. Ain't you tired of seeing this wicked coward Neanderthal do cowardly things like this to one of ours? I thought about slavery, how the black man was prevented from protecting the woman when we got here to North America, when our ancestors got here to North America off those slave ships, you feel me? And we was tied to slavery. My great-great-grandfather was tied to slavery. He couldn't help the black women from sexual predators, such as the white man. When I saw this video right there that I showed you, where the race soldier cuffed the brother and he was tied down to slavery, he couldn't protect his woman who was being slammed to the concrete. See, I watched the race soldiers break Freddie Gray up in Baltimore. When they slammed him to the ground, they broke him up. That's where they killed Freddie Gray, when they hit him, took him and slammed him to the concrete. You see, he couldn't walk as they took him to the van. They said in the paddy wagon, there was a rough ride, but he was broke up before he got to the ride. So this race soldier right here, this happened June 24th. June 24th in Lancaster, California, in front of a grocery store. It started because the brother was accused of stealing. I doubt that he was stealing. They knew they was wrong. What caused the race soldier to attack the sister? All because she started filming him, recording him with her own property, her phone. He had no right to leap over there and slam her like that to the concrete. Then he tried to put his knee on her neck. He's weak. The woman was getting away from him. Soccer punched her, sprayed mace in her face. Weak white man. This is a weak white man who done this to our sisters. I don't know this woman's name. They never gave a woman's name. They never disclosed this race soldier who done this, but he needs to be punished. Shame on Lancaster Police Department in California. That cop needs to be punished, flat out. And I keep seeing stories like this. Check this video out. It's up out of Circleville, outside of Columbus, on the highway, with his race soldier sick the K9 dog on one of our brothers who surrendered, hands up in the air. I keep seeing this. Why is these cops allowed to get away with these incidents? It must be a mandate from a hierarchy place, such as your government. That's why this government has not mandated no laws to protect the African American. But you can protect the Chinese. They have a hate crime bill that protect the Chinese. What I mean by protection, if you do something to the Chinese because of race, you could go to jail. The Latinos and the Mexicans, these immigrants, are covered up under the hate crime bill. But the people who built this country, black people, get zero. We meet nothing but death, but we keep voting. But we keep voting and keep hope alive. We need to unplug from this matrix and get down with ourselves and unite. We can't unite. We can't unite because we are separated by ignorance. You feel what I'm saying? That's another video and another time. But check this out.
Do not release the dog with his hands up.
Newly released video shows the moments before an Ohio police canine attacked an unarmed black man as he was trying to surrender following a lengthy highway chase.
Get the dog off of it! Get the dog! Get it out! Get it out! The dog!
The video starts as police try to pull over Jadarius Rose for a missing mudflap. The 23-year-old led police on a chase for more than 30 minutes, stopping in Jackson County, about 90 minutes south of Columbus. At one point, police with guns drawn instruct Rose to exit the vehicle. He takes off again, and police were forced to use spike strips to stop the semi.
Do not release the dog with his hands up.
Ohio State Highway Patrol says troopers were attempting to make the arrest when Circleville police officer Ryan Speakman deployed his canine, biting Rose.
The justification for the use of the canine really needs to be reviewed.
See, black family, police feel that no one is going to do anything to stop police genocide. No one's going to stop police brutality. So they'll take one for the team. A racist will take one for the team. And let me tell you something, black people. When white people are employed and they get fired from a job such as the police, where they have harmed black people, ordinary white people and fellow cops, pro-American white people, send these people GoFundMe. Yes. So, with that being said, fam, you see how the race soldier dog ran right past the black man who had his hands in the air. And you can hear the deputy sheriff tell the cop, Circleville, Ohio cop, not to let that dog loose. The man has surrendered. The dog run past the black man. You feel what I'm saying? What is this brother's name? What is this brother's name? They did disclose the brother's name and the cop's name. This happened in outside of Columbus. But the man surrendered, and you seen the race soldier make the dog go back and attack the black man. You feel what I'm saying? That's what's so deep about the whole situation. As long as black people in this country stay divided and hating each other, long as we keep confiding in the government of America, we will always be a subject of oppression. We have to unplug from the matrix. Why is the police allowed to murder, assault black people? Why is the correctional staff in Ohio allowed to kill inmates all over? Why is Lucasville, Ohio Penitentiary killing black inmates? Why is Lebanon Correctional killing black inmates? Yeah, I'm gonna call y'all out because I was in these places. CRC, correctional staff kill black people. I did a show where they killed a brother up in CRC. We ain't gonna talk about Lorraine with your murderous ass. You murder motherfuckers in Lorraine Penitentiary. How long is black people gonna sit around and keep voting and hoping white people give us something that they can't give us? We can only take our own freedom. We can only give ourselves our own justice, our own freedom, and our own equality. The white man can't give it to you. There's a mandate ever since the Henry Kissinger report. Go look up Global 200. Go look up Global 200, Henry Kissinger report. Yes, they have a mandate to get rid of black people. It's no coincidence that the Asians, I said the Chinese, I meant to say the Asians, have a hate crime bill to protect Asians. You can go to jail saying something bad about an Asian. They can charge you with a hate crime for any altercation that you may have with an Asian. And that's the catch-22. The Asians can start shit with black people. we bomb back on their ass, we get the conviction. The immigrants just got here, the Mexicans, the Latinos, all have hate crime bills to protect them. So you can go to jail, black people. The Latinos and Mexicans can start shit with you and scream hate crime. But we built the country. Our ancestors built the country. We the most attacked in the country based on content of the color of our skin. We the most attacked. Flat out, more racial incidents, more racial attacks and incidents against black people outnumber whites and Asians and other groups. Facts. Why is the police allowed to brutalize black people? Peace and black power.